You have your phone ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh god, I gotta prepare myself. Your clap is so loud. Okay, go. I'm so rude.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jasem, aka Awesomejasem, and I want to thank you for clicking on this video. On this channel, we like to celebrate Disney, beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. So if you like any or all of those things, consider bippity bopping that subscribe button, ring the bells of notification so you're instantaneously notified when I post something new, and please leave a big old thumbs up at the end of this video if you liked it all the way through. Now for today's video, I'm so excited because today we are doing the Disney World versus Disneyland tag.
Okay, so this was kind of like a Mod Podge of a tag because I found some of our Disney friends like Rita from Enchanted Rita, they have done this tag. So I pulled a few questions from there, we added a few questions of our own, and so we're just gonna do our own interpretation of the Disney World versus Disneyland tag.
So sorry, backpedaling. I need to introduce someone very special here on my channel.
I'm just sitting here mocking you the whole time. Don't mind this crazy.
Yes, we're here today with my gorgeous girlfriend, Erika from Erika DeOcampo. So if you guys didn't know, I actually flew over to San Diego to surprise her for her birthday. Were you surprised?
Yes, I was very surprised. I ugly cried. Kim K all day over here.
Yes.
In the ugliest way possible. We've been having so much fun. I don't know if Justin's gonna keep this footage in because I'm not very rehearsed or very polished like he is, but we've been having a really great time.
A really great time.
Really great time. I'm having so much fun. You guys, my face hurts because we've been laughing so much just within like the last 2 hours.
Literally. I'm like sweating from laughing so much.
We're on this high, let's film a YouTube video.
We're like,
Why not? Yeah.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tag. So in no particular order, Tower of Terror or Guardians of the Galaxy?
I feel like I should preface this. I feel like if you're subscribed to Jasem channel, you know that he's Walt Disney World. If you don't know me and this is by chance the first time you're seeing my face, I am very much Disneyland. Yes. I'm a Disneyland girl, so I'm interested to see how this is gonna go. You go first.
All right, I will have to say Tower of Terror. Now, I have never been on Guardians of the Galaxy yet, so I can't really make a 100% decision on this, but I have seen ride-throughs and I know the gist and the concept of it, but I am pretty nostalgic for the classic of Tower of Terror.
Okay, and I feel like a lot of my answers are gonna be cheating in this aspect, but I'm gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy because I know I have Tower of Terror at Disney World.
Okay.
You know why? Yeah. I was very salty about Tower of Terror leaving, but Guardians of the Galaxy is so fun. I think you would love it. Oh, great. I love it. So I essentially picked both.
Oh god, this is gonna take a long time to get through.
Alright, so next up is Indiana Jones or Dinosaur?
Let's answer at the same time.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Indiana Jones. Ooh.
I had a feeling. I just had a feeling.
Oh my gosh, that literally was an incredible ride. Now I will say Dinosaur has a very special place, like near and dear to my heart. It's amazing. I like recite the lines in it. But Indiana Jones was just so much more adventurous for me. I really enjoyed it. And honestly, I'm not even gonna say it. Never mind.
What is it?
I was gonna say, I kind of wish they would bring like Indiana Jones somehow to Florida. I mean, not necessarily taking over Dinosaur because I really do love that ride.
Right.
But maybe some kind of Indiana Jones.
Well, they have the show, right?
They do. Well, it's not technically playing right now, unfortunately, due to COVID.
Okay. I'm with you. I love Dinosaur. I love Dinosaur. My grandpa got on it with us, and we thought he was going to be so scared. He loved it. He was like laughing.
Really?
And we thought he was like scared, and we got off, and we saw the picture, and he's like smiling.
Literally me. I'm like, photo. Orlando or Anaheim? Now let me preface this question. So I just put in general Orlando or Anaheim in terms of just like the city area within, you know, that kind of little specific area. I'll have to say Orlando just because I feel like it's a little bit more populated. There is more to do. Anaheim is great, but it's very small, and besides Disneyland, there's nothing really else there.
Yes, so I'm probably gonna say Orlando, just strictly because of that. So I don't know if any of you guys know this, but Anaheim is so lovingly called Anacrime.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little rough. So the moment we don't really have the Disney bubble that is at Disney World.
For
the moment
sure.
you leave Disney property, you are very much so like, Toto, we are not in Kansas anymore. Like, it's a little rough. But I want to say Anaheim because of the weather. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Like,
No, yeah.
that's definitely a factor for me.
Very, very valid, but
Everything else, I would.
Oh, so you want to take Anacrime with the weather? Okay,
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay, maybe I'll get murdered, but at least it'll be a lovely day.
that's okay. I'll just wear a poncho and enjoy my life in the bubble.
Enjoy my life in a poncho.
All right, so next up is Rocking Roller Coaster in Walt Disney World or Incredicoaster in DCA. So I've never rode Incredicoaster with its new theming. I rode, what was it called? Hollywood Screams?
California Screamin'.
California Screamin'. Sorry, something's screaming in California.
Screamin'.
Someone's
Screamin' in
screaming
California. Ah!
Maybe it's because
It's
it's an
us.
anacrime.
Too soon. I
Too
just
soon,
made the
okay,
joke.
just too
Give it some
soon.
time.
I have never rode the ride with its new theming, but I did ride California
Screamin'.
and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I do love Rocking Roller Coaster, but my only gripe with it is very short and it needs a new theming, just like they've done in Incredicoaster. So I'm gonna have to go with Incredicoaster, even though I haven't rode the theming.
Literally same.
Yeah.
I have not ridden it because I haven't been able to go to DCA since having Juliana, or like it got rethemed
Oh yeah.
before
To
I had
Paradise
her.
Pier.
Yes, so I haven't been able to get on the new theming, but I loved California Screamin'. Rock and Roller Coaster, I have a specific memory of me like getting, my earrings were hitting me here. Like, it was a very rough, and I think twice when I've gone it as a child, it was like really, really rough. So I'm gonna go with California Screamin', aka the Incredicoaster, even though technically I'm also
So Downtown Disney or Disney Springs?
okay.
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you haven't been there since they rethemed it, have you?
I went in 2017.
Maybe you have.
Rethemed it to what?
Disney Springs.
Yes.
Like the full Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, because I live there, so I'm just like...
Yeah.
it is
I'm
what it
almost
is.
certain I have, yeah.
So I would say Disney Springs only because it's bigger, better, has more options. It's like you could literally spend all day there.
Oh yeah, I do think Downtown Disney is trying, but that is kind of the downfall of Anaheim versus Orlando. There's just no space. I'm sorry,
sure.
and I don't mean to make that sound as like a cop out, but there's no space.
That's true.
They're trying to revamp what's already there as opposed to adding to it, which is very like the Orlando thing. They just keep adding and adding, but Anaheim doesn't have the room for it. So I feel like they just try to reinvent, and it's not really happening.
Definitely, and I think the one-up of them having more space makes it
Yes.
more of an experience, and you can just spend a lot more time. Next up is Fantasmic in Disneyland or Fantasmic in Walt Disney World.
Disneyland.
Disney World.
Disneyland.
Disney
Excuse me.
Okay, I understand.
You already know what I'm gonna say, so go ahead and you answer.
I understand ours might need just a little bit of a tweaking. But I love the concept of the whole Pocahontas segment. Like, again, because I am very much like a Pocahontas stan. That is one of my all-time favorite things of that show. And I will say, it is so much more comfortable to be in an amphitheater outside where you can sit, enjoy, and actually involve yourself in this whole like ambiance of Fantasmic.
I can appreciate that, but it's gonna go back to the same thing. Disneyland is the OG. It's where it started. JD is not, my husband, is not a huge like diehard like we are with Disney. One of his only memories he has as a kid growing up is sitting and watching Fantasmic with his family. It's just memories that stem from being there as a kid, and it isn't, you know, we were standing watching it or being huddled up with a bunch of people. It was just a very,
True.
I still love that. There's things that are annoying like that about Disneyland. There isn't as much room or things like that, but that's part of my memories is sitting and being ready for the show. But it doesn't matter that we're sitting with a bunch of people. You were just like, couldn't wait for the show to start. So that has a lot of sentimental value to me.
Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland or Pirates of the Caribbean in Walt Disney World? On the count of 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Disneyland.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, hands down, again, I think it goes back to, like, nostalgia, it being the original one. I think the entrance, too, is really unique for Disneyland. Plus, it's a little bit longer. And isn't it connected inside? There's, like, a little area that you can eat.
Yes.
And I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But and I'm not saying this just to be biased against Disneyland. I feel like I hear it from a ton of Disney
For
World
sure.
people
For
that
sure.
Disneyland is the better Pirates of the Caribbean.
All right, this is a big one. I was gonna skip it and save it towards the end, but we're just gonna rip the Band-Aid.
Oh, okay. Hit me with it.
Cinderella's Castle in Magic Kingdom or Sleeping Beauty's Castle in Disneyland?
You know what? Let me go first, okay? Let me go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay?
Here we
Hold
go.
my drink, okay? Look at this, you guys. Okay. Don't come at me that my castle is small, okay? Don't come at me, you size queen, okay? Don't come at me that it's small. I don't want to hear it about my damn castle, okay? It's small. You know why? Because Walt was sitting here being like, oh, you know what? I'm going to make this magic for all of these people that are so greedy and just want everything bigger and everything has to be better. And he was like, I'm going to make this beautiful thing. And he had no idea that it was going to blow up and become this thing. And then he was like, oh, look, I'm going to make even more a copy and paste, if you will, not the original. And then we have Cinderella's castle.
You can take your drink back.
Cheers.
Okay, so,
Cheers to you.
well, cheers to that.
I don't know if I cheers to you
Cheers
get
to that.
what you're about to say.
Cheers to that lovely rendition. Or should I say, for that marvelous introduction.
Where's my wig? I'm snatching it off your head this moment.
Yes, I will attest to the fact that, again, size isn't always everything. However, period, comma, ... When you're in front of the castle, the majestic feeling that it gives you, because it is a little bit bigger, and just because how the spires are like shooting up into the sky, and the color story, and plus I've always felt more connected to like those grand castle features. It doesn't give you that same sense of like, wow, I'm in a fantastical fantasy kind of area. It's just a little bit more lackluster. So for me, going through it and being able to see it from outside, it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, this is something new, this is something different. I will say, Disneyland is amazing because you do have like features throughout the castle. Like, what is it? The Sleeping Beauty storybook walkthrough. That's incredible. I wish we could add that to Walt Disney World, but that's just not gonna happen. We do have a restaurant in it though, and a castle suite, so that's pretty cool. Too bad we can never go to it.
Okay, don't flex. The thing is, I get very defensive, you guys, about this, in case you couldn't tell.
This
okay?
is why I wanted to do this with you.
Because the thing is, that standpoint I completely understand. If you, with anything else, if you're a kid and somebody shows you a ginormous cake, and then you come home and you get a cupcake that's small, what do you want more of?
Oh, well, I thought it was copy and paste earlier. You can enjoy your cupcake. I'll be over here with the cake.
You know what I mean,
I
though?
know, I get it, I do.
You can't go from big to small. Like, I grew
So
up
basically you're telling me Cinderella's castle trumps
in size.
Sleeping Beauty's
In
castle.
size.
It's okay.
Good
we're
for
going,
you.
We're going to the next question.
Shut
I
up.
don't think we'll have an answer. Haunted Mansion in Disneyland or Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World?
Oh, okay.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Walt Disney World.
Okay. I actually say Walt Disney World too.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now I will say this one was a little bit tricky only because the facade of the ride, Disneyland. Like we can't really compete. They did change it slightly for each of them, but I feel like Disneyland gives like a more eerie look
That's what, okay, so I didn't want to go into like every little thing about it.
Yeah.
I like the ride, the details of Disneyland more, but my whole thing with Disney World is the space also, right? But the queues at Disney World, Disneyland cannot compete. They can't. Like the line for Haunted Mansion blew my mind.
Oh,
I don't remember it as a child. So when I went in 2017, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
For sure. So next up, we have Radiator Springs Racers in Disney California Adventure or Test Track in Epcot. This one's easy for me.
Is it?
Radiator Springs Racers.
Me
100%.
Me too.
100%. You are literally like
In the movie.
Exactly. You're in the movie from start to finish. I will say the only thing that really turns me away from Radiator Springs Racers, oops, say that 10 times fast, is the wait for it. It's always ridiculous.
Always long.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But it's well worth it. And I tell everyone that goes, you need to do it.
Yeah, it's an amazing, you guys, I always say you guys, you might know that Cars isn't a favorite of mine, but Cars Land in DCA is just so phenomenally done.
Yeah.
They executed it so well. You can really see the craftsmanship of like the Imagineers in that ride.
For sure.
You are completely immersed in Cars Land.
Even
like
if you don't go on the ride, when you're looking at it, you can see such an incredible attention to detail. And then when you're on the ride, you see even more, which makes it that much more immersive. So
it is, and it's not even just the ride. Like you kind of go through a little drive for a little bit. It's so beautiful.
And it's when you're on the ride, it's almost like you're not even in a theme park because they have done an incredible job of like kind of filtering off the areas that you can see in, if that makes sense. So when you're on it, it doesn't look like you're in a park. It just looks like
it is on the tail end of DCA. Like when you're driving up to the parking structures, you can actually see the rock wall of Radiator Springs.
Also, just to make note, it's been a while since she's been to Disney World, and it's been a while since I've been to Disneyland. So this is kind of fun to do and try to think about and remember the last times that we've been there. So things may have changed drastically from when you were there or when I was there. So I guess on our next visit, we'll have to see.
Yeah, Johnson doesn't remember, you guys, that the Sleeping Beauty's castle is better. So please don't shame him in the comments. He just doesn't remember. So when he comes back,
it's okay. Next up is Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse in Walt Disney World or Tarzan's Treehouse in Disneyland.
I'm gonna go at the same time again.
1, 2, 3.
Swiss Family Robinson.
Okay, so I will say this. I'm just saying that off of a whim because I've never been to the Tarzan's Treehouse in Disneyland, but the idea and the concept behind it, and I think I've seen a few photos, it looks really cool and unique. I think maybe just because I have Swiss Family Robinson and I've been there multiple times, it's just kind of like,
And that's kind of how I feel.
Oh.
I feel, no, I do remember, and obviously I know Tarzan's Treehouse very well. I like the theming of Swiss Family Robinson. I kind of like the more, oh my God, we're stuck, like making, I don't know.
Make do with
it
what
just
you
would
have.
seem more realistic as opposed to basing it off of Tarzan the cartoon. I don't know if that sounds weird, but and it's also like a nostalgia thing. I was kind of annoyed that they changed it into Tarzan.
Well, you know, thinking about it now, I'm kind of like backpedaling a little bit, only because I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I like the idea of Tarzan because I love Tarzan, and I don't think he gets representation.
Yeah, right.
But he didn't live in a treehouse.
Right.
So maybe I'm gonna change my answer back.
JK.
But not on the one with the castle. Don't let her fool you.
See? He doesn't know what he's talking about, you guys. Look at him changing his answer.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay.
Character meet and greets in Disneyland or character meet and greets in Walt Disney World?
This is...
Go first.
Me? I'm gonna say Disney World. Anytime I say Disney World, Joseph's like, oh wow, really?
Oh, really? Tell me more.
You know why? Because we don't really have them at Disneyland, and I was gonna say...
You do.
We do, but I'm just saying, I like that we don't really have them all the time for all the characters. You're kind of just walking around and you can see them.
Yes, exactly.
I think that is something, again, Disneyland, novelty, like reminiscent of my memories growing up, like trying to catch up and run. Like I would tell my dad, look, and he said, go run, and then we would try to get in line, and if you made it, great, and if you didn't, like, it wasn't so, you have this time and you have this time. It wasn't like that. So
No.
I appreciate that of Disneyland, but in the same thread, like I appreciate Disney World for being a little bit more. I always say this, and please don't, I hope you guys can understand this. I think Disneyland is an experience. I think Disney World is the machine. It's very... Elvis has left the building.
Walt Disney World is an experience.
No, I just mean
just kidding.
it's
I know.
it's a well-oiled machine.
For
They
sure.
have so many people, they have to be ready. Like there's so many tourists and stuff like
There's
that.
definitely a system
Yes.
to it, and I understand that completely, and I think that's why I appreciate Walt Disney World's meet and greets over Disneyland, because when you think about it, you're putting so much money towards your trip and your adventure, and let's say you want to meet a princess, and that's like a specific thing you really want to do for your memory or for your child. I think it's really nice that you have that opportunity of
Absolutely.
just lining up, getting into a queue for this specific character. Now I will say, back to what you said, the nostalgia and the idea of just seeing characters roam around, that's awesome too. Which is why I like parades and things like that, because then everyone has the opportunity of seeing someone. You don't get the best interactions, but you get to see them.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I guess growing up with that, that's all I knew. So it isn't like, oh, I'm depriving my child of doing that. It's more like,
This is
that's
what I
that's
did.
what it was for
so
me.
you're
Meeting
gonna
a
do-
character was that for me. Like, great, if you saw him today, that's amazing. Like, you had a total experience with them.
And if
know?
you didn't, you're asshole.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Disneyland resorts or Walt Disney World resorts? I know this one was kind of hard, but I thought it was a good question to throw in.
I don't think it's hard at all.
Well, I just mean because there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
Walt Disney World.
Disney World. Easy.
Well,
Affordable, more variety. The theming. Oh, yeah.
For
a
sure. The
1,000,000%.
space,
The
the
space.
size, right?
Size. Yes. No. Even like the cool resorts at Disneyland, they aren't even that Disney themed, really, if you think about it. Like the Grand Californian, there's not much Disney theming
I
to
think
it.
that's probably one of my favorites.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love that hotel.
Yeah,
But I also want to be like Mickey greeting me in the morning. Mickey soaps in the shower. Mickey being like, ha every time like I'm walking into a room. Like I want Mickey everywhere. Give me Mickey.
Okay, well maybe you should have married him.
Oh boy, I do declare, Mr. Mouse.
Definitely Walt Disney World resorts, only for the fact of, again, variety. So it can cater to so many different people, so many different needs.
For interests.
And interest. Yeah, and I really do appreciate that, because anytime you do visit, you have a different experience, you know? But I won't discredit Disneyland, because they do have some really cool ones. Like the Grand Californian is really beautiful for the space and the size that it can accommodate. And I really love the fact that you can just transition right into Disneyland California Adventure. That is really cool.
Yeah, that's kind of back to the same thing though. Like that's what I mean. Disneyland has this kind of go with the flow. You can get from point A to point B.
Transitions.
A reservation. Easy. You don't have to get there 3 hours or plan 3 hours before. It isn't like that. It's just everything's there.
So next up, we're going into parades. You ready?
Yes, bring it on.
Magic Happens or Festival of Fantasy.
Okay.
This one's really hard for me.
Not me.
Really?
Let me think.
Go ahead.
Magic Happens.
Magic Happens.
It's so good.
I was only gonna say it's hard because Magic Happens has an incredible music composition. Todrick Hall.
Oh my god.
Ever heard of him?
Never heard of him?
Ever
Yeah.
heard of him? He did an incredible job putting this one
Calling out
together.
dreamers.
Plus, it features so many of my favorites.
Yes.
So many. You have Moana,
Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
Coco.
You have Coco. You have Princess and the Frog. Cinderella, the pumpkin, parade float. Incredible.
So good. And the colors and the costumes of like just the dancers before the floats come out. Oh my god, it's so moving. I don't know how you can be moved by that.
For sure. And I will say, like, I haven't experienced it personally, seen it on YouTube.
Me either. YouTube.
But you still feel so connected
yeah.
to it, which is really cool. Festival of Fantasy is an incredible addition to Magic Kingdom as well, and I think it doesn't get the recognition it deserves because it's been there for a while, so it's already been kind of played
like
down.
old news. Okay.
Exactly, but when you're there and in person, the floats are phenomenal. I will say that's probably one of Disney's best, probably if not the best, parade that they've had in Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay.
Just because of the interactions of the performers, the floats themselves, they're really, really good.
Okay, good.
This was a question that you came up with, so thanks for your contribution. Would you rather walk in Walt's footsteps or do the Keys of the Kingdom tour? So if you guys don't know, those are two VIP tours that you can do, right? Something like that?
Just tours. I don't know if they're the VIP tours.
Well, like private event
Yeah.
tours. You have to pay
You
for
have to
it.
pay
It's a
extra.
separate ticketed event. So you pay for your ticket for the park, and then you pay for this experience, and you're led by a personal guide through the park and even through like back parts of the park.
Walt specific tours, like both of them are
Rich in history.
that's what I think. They're
Yeah.
very Walt inspired. They kind of give you a little glimpse into what his vision was for things as they're taking you through attractions or lands and things like that. They're very, like fun facts and things like that, which I love.
I think it would satisfy any Disney
Any
buff.
Disney lover, yeah,
Right, yeah.
totally.
So I think I would do the Walk in the Walt's Footsteps tour.
Same.
Only because I feel like that would be the most connected to like the original concept and vision. I mean, I do want to do the Keys of the Kingdom, so maybe one day I'll have
I'm
that.
like both.
Both, please.
But
Thank you.
a walk in Walt's footsteps for sure. I know that they show you, I think it's either one or the other. They either take you to his office or his apartment.
Oh my God, I would die.
Can you imagine? I think I would just be like a puddle of, I
I'm
would
just
just be
gonna,
crying
like-
the entire time, like,
I'm like, where's the restroom? And then like go lock myself in a closet so then
and
when
stay
everyone
there,
leaves-
right? That's what I thought
Yeah.
too. I'll just like hopefully nobody finds me.
This was another question you came up with. Would you rather eat at the Blue Bayou in Disneyland or eat at California Grill in Disney World?
I feel like you and I are gonna have opposite answers just because we haven't done it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The Blue Bayou.
I'm saying California Grill
Why?
because I've never been there.
Okay, I mean valid. And honestly, for me, I actually haven't done California Grill either. Not
Oh.
yet.
But you've been there.
I've been to the resort and I know of it and I've seen pictures and things like that, but I feel like Blue Bayou would be unique only because I love like unique food and I feel like the offerings there would be so much more flavorful. And if I'm going to a restaurant, I want it to be like the bee's knees. I would rather it to be a lot more flavorful and like an immersive foodie experience versus just like scenery.
That's funny because I think kind of the opposite for Blue Bayou. So maybe you should go to California Grill.
Oh snap! Is it not good?
No, it's good, but
Oh.
it's just like steak.
No.
It's nothing crazy. I think people
Wait, but
pay
it says
for the
Blue
ambiance.
Bayou, so
No.
there's no like
Nope.
New Orleans inspired.
No.
Okay, changing my answer.
Yeah.
I'm going back to the California Grill where I know I can at least get a good glass of Sauvignon
Sauvignon.
and watch Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Avengers Campus in Disneyland or Toy Story Land in Walt Disney World.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Toy Story Land only because I've seen previews. Again, I've never been to Avengers Campus just yet. I've seen previews and people's stories, and it looks kind of lackluster. The ambiance is great. The characters you see there, incredible. The food offering didn't look appetizing or pleasing to me, and I know in Toy Story Land they have 3 rides, and they have a quick service, and then they're gonna get another restaurant. So I'm anticipating that restaurant.
Okay.
So more options again.
That might sway me. Like I was just gonna say Avengers Campus. I'm very into Marvel.
Or is it just because it's Disneyland?
No, it's DCA. Okay?
No, I will say I like Marvel too.
I really am into Marvel, and I know we've seen just little pieces of the Spider-Man show. We haven't even been fully into the Avengers Campus yet. We're very excited to go, but I've also never been to Toy Story Land. They were building it last time we went, so it wasn't fully open. So I'm very, I'm like excited for both.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Juliana's gonna love it.
I know
Oh,
Toy
she's
Story's
gonna
been
love it.
like a huge favorite of hers
Oh
for a
my
really
god,
long time.
can I be there?
Maybe. We'll see. You have to change your answer about Sleeping Beauty's castle, and then we'll talk.
I guess I won't be there for the first time.
I hate you.
Next up is Oogie Boogie Bash,
Oh,
or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So if you don't know, Oogie Boogie Bash is a Halloween offering. It's an after-hours event at Disneyland, and Mickey's Not
DCA.
So Scary. Oh, DC. So sorry.
It's not easy to get it right.
And then Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is offered at the Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World.
Easy.
Mickey's Not So
Mickey's
Scary
Not So Scary.
Halloween Party.
Sanderson sisters.
Oh, that's recent. That's recent. I love that.
I can't. We watched the show twice when we were there.
Oh.
No, when we were there.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, 2017.
I didn't know you went to Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah, we were there, and then the show ended, and they were gonna do a second take. So when everyone took off, we made our way to the front, and Winnie and I locked eyes, and I was like, "I am you. You are me, sister. Gone, gone, gone."
She goes back on stage and she's like,
JD's like,
she's a creepy lady in the front row.
"If you don't believe, you better get superstitious." Like I broke out like 5, 6, 7. They were like, "You, ma'am."
You see her climbing up Cinderella's castle to be on stage.
I
No
was
wonder
the-
she don't like the castle because she was kicked out of it.
I was the
last
one that got tased, you guys. I got tased and escorted.
If we have that video, we'll link it down below. Just kidding. No, but for sure, Mickey's Not So Scary is more, again, immersive.
Yes.
You have this incredible shows. The parade is
The
probably...
villains.
The villains.
Definitely the parade is one of my favorites. The Boo to You parade.
Yes.
Incredible.
The Gravediggers was my favorite part. My favorite part.
Literally, as soon as the Halloween season comes around, and when I used to go to Mickey's Not So Scary all the time, now they've changed it this year. We're not even going to talk about that. But that specific scene would amp me up for the rest of the season. It was incredible.
That's just good choreography. I'm sorry, but that is just so clever. The little like skids that they make with the like the
and the
sparks that come
sparks.
out. I freaking
For
it's
sure.
So good.
And the Haunted Mansion, like ballroom guest or ghost scene.
Yeah.
Incredible. But I will say, Oogie Boogie Bash is so cool and so unique because of their like unique treat offerings. Every year that I see them promote it, I'm just like, man, those treats look incredible.
Yeah.
We don't really get stuff like that.
But also, you and I like we're not the biggest Nightmare Before Christmas fans.
This is true.
And I feel like if you are, then that might be it. But even then, I don't think anything is crazy themed as much as Mickey's Not So Scary is.
For sure. Next up, Mickey's Magical Map or Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair. So Mickey's Magical Map is offered in Disneyland, and Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair is in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World.
Magical Map.
This one is really hard for me.
Dude, Pocahontas and Mulan
I
and
know,
Tangled
I
and
know.
Tiana.
I know.
Don't try to act like you don't know. You know.
I do
Dig
know.
deep.
Okay. You gotta dig a little deeper. Oh, we need to stop singing. We're gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, copyrighted.
So I probably will lean towards Mickey and the Magical Map. I saw that only once, and that's how much of an impact it made on me. It
really
was incredible. The whole trio of princesses singing, the whole Tiana segment, the whole imagery of those screens
Yes.
where it transitions
beautiful.
with the actual characters, incredible. Oh, I also love the Stitch segment. That's really cute. I know you don't really care for him, but I thought it was cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's just I love that. It's very like upbeat.
Yes.
Just very fun. It's a very fun show.
But I will not discredit our Friendship Fair because it's fun. Have you seen that? No, it's newer. It's a castle show
Oh.
at Walt Disney World, but it's newer and I love it. I hope it comes back soon. The Tiana segment's great. All right, we are finally down to the final question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm bringing it on.
All right, straighten your ears. Let's get ready.
To rumble.
The last and final question. Take those earrings out. Disneyland or Walt Disney World? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Disneyland.
Walt Disney World! I'll give it to you. Disneyland 100% has so many incredible features. But I think, but, and I have a big one.
I know. I got on camera falling off the gears.
No, in all honesty, everyone's gonna have their own perception of it. Mine ties back to nostalgia. I'm sure yours does as well. Walt Disney World. It's something I grew up with. It's something I remember. I love the grand aspect of it. I love how there's so much space. It's a little more immersive with all of the different parks. You have 4 parks versus 2. Like, there's just so much for me that I enjoy and something that's always new. That's why I love Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I get that. And I can appreciate that. You're wrong, but...
You're wrong, but... And there's another big but. Because I've seen it in person.
Again. No, Disneyland, the same thing as Jocelyn. That's what I grew up with. I'm always going to stand behind the fact that it was the park that Walt walked in. He finished it, and he said, this is exactly what I wanted it to be. Disney World was very, like, everyone else kind of had to pick up the pieces and assume that that's what Walt wanted.
But he started it.
He started it.
He did, so you can't say...
But I'm just saying,
history. He
walked there, he had this vision, and it became something that turned everything else is that we all love, right?
For sure.
Disneyland was his one image, and then from it came everything else. So, I don't know. My thing is always, I urge everybody, I don't have any sort of, like, if you guys were Disney World people, that's whatever, fine. But what I'm saying is, I just want everybody to try to make it to Disneyland.
For sure. I think if like, you haven't, you need to. It's almost like a mecca.
Like a rite of passage. Like, you have to go.
For
if you're a fan of Disney, you have to support Walt Disney and what his image was, or his vision.
And then you can make your own decision, you know, like, and like she said, whatever it is, there's no hard feelings. Like, I know she's always going to be Team Disneyland, and she just knows that I'm right with Walt Disney World. I do think it's going to be such a personal thing for anyone, so
yes.
At the end of the day, I applaud you for answering that and doing this with me, because I think it's fun to kind of just see the dynamic between different people's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I really think it's cool that you said Disneyland was kind of like the blueprint. And you know what they say, like, you can only get better. So that's why Walt Disney World is better. And there you have it. That was our Walt Disney World versus Disneyland tag. What are we calling this?
Tag.
This
really.
or that? Okay, sure, whatever. I had so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I know I really had to, like, pull your arm to do it. Yes. But I had so much fun, and I think it was a really great interaction to see, like, again, just different people's perspectives. So if you guys do this tag, please let us know. Tag us in your videos. And I want to ask you, what is your favorite? Disneyland or Walt Disney World? Sound off in the comment section below. Let us know why one over the other. Do you have anything to ask them?
I kind of want to know what the hardest this or that was for you guys.
Oh,
what's one that you just didn't? You're like, no, I'm not going to answer that. You don't have to answer. Just tell me which one was the hardest.
For her, it was the last one. Walt Disney World or Disneyland. Clearly.
Jocelyn wants to get beat right now, you guys.
She's like,
once
I
this
know where you're
video
sleeping.
ends, guess what? My ass is going straight to your pillow.
What are you gonna do? Please let us all know in this video right now. Make sure you follow her channel.
Disneyland churro or chorro? Your choice.
Or you're gonna get both. If you guys aren't already, be sure to follow my beautiful and gorgeous bestie, Erika, over at Erika DeOcampo. I will leave her linked down in the description box below. Also, like I mentioned, be sure to hit that notification bell so you are instantaneously notified anytime I post a new video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, with like Disney friends, Disney YouTubers, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Stay beautiful, but most importantly,
have a magical day.